Hey everybody, it's Joe with Joe Knows Cryptos. It's Saturday, making a video on Saturday. So, let's see here. How does it feel to know that you're invested in or planning on investing in something that you know is not going to go any lower? It only has one direction to go, and that's up. That's a pretty good feeling, isn't it? You can invest with confidence knowing that you're not going to lose money. And that's where the cryptocurrency market is right now. I said it yesterday, I've said it before. This market is at its low, the lowest it's ever going to be. I don't think it'll ever get down below the 200 billion mark ever again. Sorry, my eyes are red. I was just rubbing my eyes here, sitting in my car. I'm kind of sleepy, but it's about to rain. I didn't feel like walking in my house, so I'm going to make this video here. Now, like I said, you've got your hodlers in here now that are not going to sell no matter what. You've got your exchanges who need to hold a certain amount of cryptos. So they're not going to be selling anytime soon unless they actually go out of business. If that happens, then pretty much crypto is dead anyway. And it's not dead because there's too much big money going into cryptos between Yale, Harvard, between the big exchanges like NASDAQ going to be going in there. Goldman Sachs is getting involved. You know, these are the biggest companies and the biggest banks in the world. And they wouldn't be investing money in something that they thought was going to fail. Now, I know they do get into a lot of different things just because if there's a chance that it will, do well, they want to have their finger in the pie. They got their finger in every pie. But to see them go in and actually start to build exchanges, this is taking it to another level. So we're at the bottom here. It's not going to go, it maybe has 10% lower. That's it. So that's a good feeling to know. Now, what is the upward potential? The upward potential is huge. And like I mentioned before, the main catalyst, there's many main catalysts that can drive this market up. I believe the one that's going to bring cryptos into really everyone's daily life is going to be the Lightning Network being fully operational. Once that happens, when the Lightning Network becomes fully operational, then buying and selling with cryptos is going to be cheaper and faster than it is currently with MasterCard, Visa, Discover, American Express. And once that happens, once it becomes more efficient than selling with credit cards with the SWIFT system, then a natural progression is going to take place. Anything that's better, that's faster, that's cheaper, always takes over. Always. Unless it's really politically suppressed, which I believe cryptocurrencies have been suppressed as well. But once that happens, that's going to be it. That's going to be the catalyst that really, really brings it into everyday people's lives on an everyday, daily basis. We got other things like advertising, which will draw attention to it. You've got things like the ETFs getting approved. You'll have these big companies. So just naturally, like backed and hodl it, natural progression is going to happen. So people often ask, and I see in a lot of chats and things, what do you think of cryptocurrencies versus silver and gold and things like that? Well, I heard a lot of interesting ideas and concepts about investing in silver and gold. And I actually was invested in silver and gold and still hold some. But I've come to the realization that silver and gold is really only going to be good in a total shit hit the fan scenario where there's chaos. Maybe we lose electricity, then cryptocurrencies won't be available. So they're really in a dire situation where there's just chaos, like Mad Max type of scenario where And even then, it's only going to have a temporary, silver and gold are only going to have a temporary value. And let me explain this to you. Shit hits the fan, money, the dollar is worthless. Nobody wants to have dollars, US dollars, fiat currency. People will accept silver and gold as payments. So what are you going to do? Bring a bar of silver into a store that's worth, if it does explode in value, maybe it's worth, for an example, $100,000, and you need to buy $300 worth of groceries. How are they going to make change for that? Unless they have silver to give back to you. Or they're going to give you, 2 bucket loads or 2 wheelbarrow fulls of cash? It doesn't make sense. Secondly, as far as transporting silver and gold, you know how much silver coins weigh? If you really need to hide it in your house or transport it, you want to get robbed, it's just, if it is ever valuable and you're traveling around with it, it's going to be kind of obvious. It's going to be clanking around in your pockets, or it's going to be weighing your pants down. People will become wise to it, what to look for if they're thieves, because the thieves always are smart and they always know how to look for things and how to make an easy buck. And they'll say, hey, this guy's got a belt on, his pants are way down, you can see that, he's a good target, let's rob him or her or whatever. So practically, in the beginning of a shit hits the fan scenario, silver and gold, you will be able to exchange it. If you have ounces, that's the smartest way to hold silver and gold, in my opinion, rather than in bars. Then you'll be able to trade your ounce. Maybe it'll be worth $200, and then you can trade it for $200 worth of goods. That's a little more practical than bars. But now, if it is a real shit hit the fan scenario where things are scarce, after a while, the most important things are going to be things like food, medical supplies, alcohol, cigarettes, things that people are addicted to, that they need to have, or they think they need to have until they can't get them anymore, and then they're just going to have a cold turkey reality realization that they don't need these things. But in the beginning, after a while, when you're starving, do you want a piece of silver, or do you want to trade your pair of sneakers for some canned food? If you're starving to death, you can't eat silver. You're going to want food, or you're going to want toilet paper, or you're going to want something like that, razors to shave your beard, or your mom is sick and she needs high blood pressure medication. Do you want to trade it for a piece of silver, or are you going to want to trade it to someone who can give you some medication to help your mom? So that's why silver and gold are only going to be temporary in a shit hit the fan scenario. So let's get away from that part, why silver isn't good unless it's a shit hit the fan scenario, and it's only going to be good for a temporary window, in my opinion. Secondly, the government, or the other reason why I'm kind of getting off the gold and silver, I'm still going to hold it in case crap does really, crap out, and you need it for that temporary time being, or it's just a short-term collapse where silver and gold could be, a good thing to have then if it's short-term. Anything long-term, it's not going to be good in the long term. So I hold it for a short-term thing, and I don't hold a ton of it, just enough to, get by for a little bit. Good point that I heard is that the government has to keep, especially silver, price suppressed. So silver should be 1/10 the price of gold, simply because as they mine for gold, they find about 10 times as much silver, making it 1/10 as rare as gold, meaning the price should be 1/10 the price of gold. However, silver is used for many more technology type of things. It's used inside of computers, it's used inside flashes, it's used for panels on your house, the solar panels. So if the price of silver ever went up too high, all these items would become unaffordable for people. People just couldn't afford to, spend, if a computer is $800, it's already a lot for a laptop. Imagine if the price was $3,000 or $5,000 for a laptop, or a solar panel that, already cost, I don't know, a couple $1,000s. If they went up to like $10,000 or $15,000 for a solar panel, nobody would buy them. It would make everything unaffordable on a technological part that uses silver. Sometimes they don't use that much, but for things that do require a lot of silver, it's just not going to make it affordable. So besides for being inconvenient to store, hide, carry, as far as the economy, keeping things that require it to run cheap, and long term, silver really, I know there's silver bugs out there that love silver who've been collecting ounces for years, for decades. But my realization is that it's just not going to be that practical. And there's a reason why it's suppressed by the government. A lot of people think it's a conspiracy by the government to keep the price down. But there is a reason why I think they do keep the price down. All right, so that being said, that's why I'm kind of off silver and gold and more onto cryptocurrencies by a lot. Cryptocurrencies are lightweight. You just can, they're easy to store. They're easy to hide. Soon they'll be easy to spend once the Lightning Network becomes available. They'll be accepted everywhere, and not just in America, but worldwide, except for maybe China, but who cares? No one's going to communist China anyway to escape anything. Really, it's the answer. It's a limited supply. Where gold and silver, heck, they could find a vein of gold that, is overwhelming, that they, gold could not really be a supply and demand issue. It could just be so much gold available. Plus, so many people have it stored for decades. Like I say, if they start selling it and flooding the market with it again, that's going to help have it lose its value. Where Bitcoin, you're limited to, about 20 million Bitcoin? And that's it. Once those are gone, and once they become more in demand, the higher the price goes. Once it's sold, it's just, they can't make any more. And I'm going to just end up the video here with talking about GVT. Guys, hey, check it out. GVT went from volume and market cap from 125th. It's now in the top 100. It's broken the top 100. It's I saw it 95 at one point today. I told you those people who bought lower and sold in the $14 range were going to be kicking themselves. Here we are back at 14, and it's just going to go higher, guys. I'm getting near my time limit here for the video. I hope it was informative. If you like what you hear, and you may not like what you heard today, especially if you're a silver bug, but at least if it was informative or gave you some different thoughts or opened your eyes to some different things, please like, please subscribe, please give me a thumbs up, comment down below. I love to I try to answer all the comments I can, since I don't get that many right now, since I am still a newer channel. And guys, love you. Peace out. God bless. Joe Knows Crypto signing off.